Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is T of the FTK Crochet brand, and today we are going to be making the tutorial for this beautiful hat that I'm wearing. It is a step-by-step detailed tutorial, so it is beginner friendly. So if you are new to crochet, this is something that you can make for yourself or for a loved one, because it is very simple. It took me about an hour or an hour and a half to actually complete. It's that easy. So before we get into today's tutorial, have you subscribed to my channel yet? Don't you think you're missing too much not subscribe to this channel? So I'm going to give you a minute now to click on that subscription bell below so you do not miss out on any of the tutorials that I post on here. Alright, without any further ado, let us get into today's tutorial. Okay, so for this project, these are the materials that you're going to need. You're going to need your yarn, of course. So this is an acrylic yarn and it's a 2-ply yarn. You see how tiny it is. So I'm going to be putting 2 strands together to create a 4-ply for myself. But you can go ahead to use whatever yarn that makes you comfortable, because for this particular project you can actually go ahead to use a milk cotton yarn, or if it is an acrylic yarn that you're comfortable with, but you should go with either a 4-ply or a 5-ply. It should come out very nicely on this one. All right, so you are going to need your measurement tape, very important. You're going to need your tapestry needle to weave in your ends when you're done. You're going to need your scissors, of course, and on this one I'm going to be working with a 5mm hook size. All right, so let us get into it. All right, so to begin, you are going to make a magic ring. All right, and now you are going to chain up 3. 1, 2, and 3. So this 3 now is going to be serving as 1 double crochet. All right, so on this same magic ring now, you're going to be going in there with 1 double crochet to make our first V. All right, so now you are going to chain up 2, 1 and 2, and on this same magic ring you are going to be going in there with 2 double crochet. 1 and 2. All right, you're going to chain up 2 again, and on this magic ring you're going to be going in there with another 2 double crochet. 1 and 2. So on this magic ring we are going to be repeating this 5 times. We are going to be putting in 5 of these V stitches. All right, so now we have 1, 2, 3. So you are going to chain up 2, 1 and 2, and inside same magic ring you are going to be going in with another V, which is 2 double crochet. That is what we are going to be calling V on this parts now. Okay, all right, so we have 4 now, so you're going to chain up 2 again, and on this same magic ring you're going to be going in there with another V. 1 and 2. So now we have our 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so you are going to draw the strands underneath to close the middle, just like this. All right, so to end on this row 1 now, you're going to chain up 2, 1 and 2, and do a slip stitch on the chain 3 that we started with right here. All right, so now we are done with our row 1. Okay, so now to start on the row 2, you are going to do a slip stitch on the next stitch. You do a slip stitch on the space right here. So this slip stitch is just to take us to the next space, because that is where we are going to be starting our row 2. Okay, so now that we are on the space, you are going to chain up 3, 1, 2 and 3, and don't forget this chain 3 is going to be serving as 1 double crochet. All right, this row now is going to be an increase row, so you are going to put 1 more double crochet to create our first V. All right, and then you are going to chain up 2, and on this same space you are going to be going in there with another V. That's 2 double crochet. All right, so now you are going to chain up 2 again, 1 and 2, and on this same space you are going to be going in there with another 2 double crochet. So like I told you, this row is an increase row. All right, so we are going to be repeating this in all of these chain 2 spaces all around on these parts, this row 2. Okay, so now to get to this next space, you are not going to be making any chains. You are just going to yarn over and go into the next space now and put in a V, which is 2 double crochet. All right, and then you're going to chain up 2, and on that same space you are going to be going in there with another V. So instead of putting in 2 V's and 1 V, chain 2 and another V, we are going to be doing 3 V's. So you're going to put 1 V, chain 2, 2 V's, chain 2, then 3 V. All right, so now we have 2 here. You are going to chain up 2 again, and on that same space you are going to be putting in the last V. So each of the chain 2 spaces gets 3 V and a chain 2 in between. All right, so now to get to the next space, don't forget, no chain, just yarn over and go into the next space now and do your normal 3 V while making 2 chains in between. 1, 2, 1 and 2, chain up 2 and make another V. And then go into the next space and do exactly the same thing. Create a V, chain up 2, on same space another V, chain up 2, another V, all right, so as you can see, we just have one of the chain 2 space left. All right, so we are just going to yarn over and do exactly the same thing we've been doing for this row. So you create your first V, chain up 2 and create your second V, chain up 2 and create your third V on same space. And now to end on this row, you're just going to do a slip stitch on the chain 3 stitch that we started with right here. 1, 2 and 3, just like this. All right, so we are done with our row 2. Okay, so now to start on the row 3, you are going to do a slip stitch on the next stitch, to take us to the next space. All right, so on this space now you are going to do a slip stitch. So now that we are on the next space, you are going to chain up 3, 1, 2 and 3, and don't forget this chain 3 always serve as a double crochet. Okay, so you are going to yarn over and you are going to create your very first V on this space. So this row 3 is also an increase row, but there is a little difference. Just watch what I'm doing. Okay, so now we have our first V. You are going to chain up 2, and on that same space you are going to go in with another V, okay, and now you are going to chain 2 again, and then on this same space you are going to be going in there with your third V. All right, so now you are going to be going to the next space, and there you are just going to be doing 2 V's instead of the 3 that we did here. Okay, so this row is going to be 3 and then 2, 3 and then 2. Okay, so just yarn over, go into the next space now and create your first V. All right, then chain up 2, 1 and 2, and on that same space you're going to be going in there with another V and 2. All right, so all this is supposed to be happening in the places that you have chain 2. All right, so like this place now, there is no chain 2 here, so you are going to be skipping this place and yarn over, go into the next chain 2 space, and then you are going to create a V 2. And don't forget, this part is going to be the 3 V's, because now, now we've done 3 V's on this space, we've done 2 on this space, so this space now is going to be carrying 3 V's. Sorry about that noise, they are working on the next compound. All right, so chain up 2, 1 and 2, and then on this same space you are going to be going in with another V, and on this same space you are going to chain up 2, and then you are going to put in another V on this space, just like this, and then you are going to yarn over, and this is our next space. You are just going to be going in with 2. So you continue creating this all around this row. All right, so you put in your V, chain up 2, put in another V on this space. All right, always do it in the chain 2 spaces. So like here now, it's not a chain 2 space. Now you are going to be jumping to this next chain 2 space, and since you put 2 here now, this next one now is going to be 3. So 2 and 3, 2 and 3, 2 and 3, until you get to this part here, and I'll come back to show you what we're going to be doing next. All right, okay, so I'm at the end of the row 3 now, and this is how it's looking. Okay, so now we are not going to be doing any more increases. This is where we stop our increase. Okay, to start on the row 4 now, you are just going to do a slip stitch to take us to the next space. All right, so now that I'm on the next space, I'm just going to chain up 3, 1, 2 and 3, and on that same space now you're just going to go in there with 1 double crochet. So plus the chain 3, we just created our first V, and now chain up 2, and on that same space you are going to go in there with a V. So now this is what we are going to be doing all around this row. We are not doing any more increases. So what you are just going to be doing in all of the chain 2 spaces, you are going to create a V, chain up 2 and create another V, and yarn over and go into the next space and just do exactly the same thing. Create a V, chain up 2 and then create another V. So make sure your chains are always inside. Okay, like now if you are going to the next space, you are not going to be making any chains, and this is not a chain 2 space. Like I told you, you always do your V's, you always create your V's on the chain 2 spaces. Okay, so now yarn over and go into the next V space, and then create your first V, chain up 2 and then create your next V and 2, and then yarn over, go into the next V, which happens to be here, do your next space, sorry, do your first V, chain up 2 and do another V. So this is what you are going to continue. Like I said, no increases on this row. Okay, just yarn over, go into our next space, our next chain 2 space. You are just going to create your first V, chain up 2 and create your second V. Okay, so keep repeating this all around this row. All right, like this part now is not a chain 2, don't make that mistake. Okay, so you only do it in the chain 2 spaces, so keep doing that in all of the chain 2 spaces. Just create a V, chain up 2, create another V, and do that all around, and I will meet you here when I'm done with mine. Okay. Okay, so I'm at the end of the row 4 now, and this is how it's looking. All right, so to end on this row 4, you're just going to be doing a slip stitch on the chain 3 stitch we started with right here, and then you're going to do a slip stitch on the very next stitch to take us to the next space where we are going to be starting this row. All right, so now that we're on this space, you're just going to chain up 3, 1, 2, and 3. So like you already know, this chain 3 is having us 1 double crochet, so you are going to be putting in 1 more double crochet to create our first V, and then you are going to chain up 2, and on this same space you are going to be going in with your second V. Yarn over, and then now you are going to be going into the next chain 2 space, which happens to be here. You are going to create your first V, chain up 2, and on that same space you are going to be going in with your second V, 1 and 2. Yarn over, go into the next space, chain 2 space, create your first V, chain up 2, and create your second V. So this is exactly what you are going to keep repeating for this row. All right, so you are just going to keep putting in 1 V, chain up 2, and another V on the same space. So this is what you are going to be doing all around until you get to the end here. Okay, and when you get here, you are going to do a slip stitch to take you to the next space, and then you are going to chain up 3 and put in 1 double crochet to create your first V, chain up 2, put another double crochet. So this is what you are going to continue doing, 12 rows in total. So the entire hat is going to be made up of 12 rows. Okay, so I'm going to go off camera now to complete my 12 rows all together, and I'll come back to show you how it's looking and what we are going to be doing next. All right. Okay, so I'm at the end of the 12th row now. Like I told you, I ended up doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 rows altogether. But if you know you want yours longer, you can actually go ahead to just keep putting in the rounds. But I'm going to be stopping at the 12 rows. And this particular 12 rows measures exactly 7.5. All right, so I'll advise that you put it on your head to know where you want it to stop, because that is actually what I did to get this inches I went for. All right, so this is it. I'm just going to cut off the yarn now and then tie it, because this is the end of our hat. All right. So this is the finished result. I've gone ahead to do another one. I had to mix colors on this one just to see how it will come out, to see how gorgeous they look. So if you are familiar with these colors, you remember that I used it for a skirt and a top that I made. So this one is going to be with that one. That's why I had to combine these colors together. It's so beautiful. So I have one plain color, which is the blue color, and I have this design. So beautiful. So all I just need to do now is just go ahead to weave in all of my ends, and I will be done with the hats. All right, I do hope you enjoy watching this video as much as I did creating it. All right, if you do, make sure to like the video and share it with your friends and your family who wants to make something as beautiful as this. Okay, and if you have any questions about this particular project, feel free to drop it on my comment section and I will be happy to help. All right, and if you've not subscribed to my channel before now, what are you waiting for? Don't you think you're missing too much not subscribed to this channel? And make sure when you subscribe to the channel, click on the tiny notification bell below so that when I post any tutorials just like this, you will be the first to know. All right, so Until next time, bye bye.